Howdy Chunky, this is the Voice of Reason. My name's Alex Belfield and we have another update as we just filibuster for a few seconds to pass the time. It's very important when you sit here with your judge-like truncheon to pound on the head of common sense what's going on. I'm going to read you the letter that came from Probation this morning. It arrived and I'm going to read it you verbatim because I think it's really interesting to see what this tyrannical government is doing to people who are 0.17% risk, yet use words and offend HMPPS, who seem to believe that I somehow am working for them, and if I don't PR them positively, they will throw me back in prison. I'll read you the letter next. If you'd like to go to the website and join us for the phone-in, it is Sundays and Wednesdays at 9, where you can say anything. We're Ofcom free, we're not PC, and we don't have any BS there. I can use real proper words, unlike here, which is Ofcom ruled and government dictated. Unfortunately, we have to be very careful. Oh, by the way, they tried to have the last two videos pulled. They wrote to YouTube to say that this is outrageous, that he's using words again. Thankfully, on this occasion, they remain live for now. However, we do know that they are going to eventually shut me up one way or another, whether that's pushing me off the top of an NCP car park, whether it's silencing me and paying me not to broadcast, or indeed just throwing me back in prison. If you do want to get hold of the books, they are available now. If you buy both, it's postage free. The new prison book, which they're going to hate, judging by the decision not to recall me, which I'll read you in a moment. Get them quick before they're banned. Right, we've passed a few seconds. Let's begin now. Howdy mush, here we go then with another update by me, Alex Belfield, star of Stage Screen and Me Back Bedroom. A lot of people saying, why are you updating us? Well, I'm updating you because the only thing you have when you're in my position is the truth. And the one thing I need you to know is that I can't lie, because if I did, I'd be thrown straight back in jail and, of course, be taken for more lawfare in the High Court because they will instantly sue, which they haven't. Now, I've had a letter from the tyrannical mafia at Probation. As you might know, I am such a high risk at less than 1% that I am National Security Division, Mapper 2 Level 3, Terrorism Level. I'm managed by the people in Birmingham. And as you can see from this reference, E502217, sent on Thursday, it doesn't make much sense because, unfortunately, they refer to a meeting we had on Friday that hadn't happened yet. These people are not bright. Also, it's not signed, so it doesn't stand, which it may well be cock-up or conspiracy, you decide. So let me just give you the background on this. I made a video last week at Fossway, which I'm perfectly entitled to do. They have no signage on their door. You can go in and broadcast in any public space. That is the law. I am a journalist, as decided by my judge in the Clown Court case. Judge Saney said I am a journalist and have been for 25 years, and therefore I am protected under public interest in my journalism. Unfortunately, HMPPS, His Majesty's Prison and Probation Service, don't like that I am exposing the truth in my new book, which is called Surviving the Slammer. There's another book called A Complete Waste of Doing Time. There's another book called A Shore Wank Redemption, etc., etc. There's 4 HMP books that they can't stop. They're going to try, but at the moment, 2 of them are available, the autobiography and the first one, Surviving the Slammer, out in a couple of weeks. They don't like that I am unedifyingly exposing their corrupt and broken system, not my opinion, that of their boss, the Lord Chancellor, Miss Shamima Shamima Mahood, who I wrote to last week with a judicial review. We have tried 6 or 7 times to get these weasels into court to do the right thing, tell the truth, after proving that I am a less than 1% risk. I was a super enhanced prisoner and should have been home 2 years ago, but they stopped me because they're completely corrupt. Well, after 9 weeks of being on air and talking about all kinds of things, there's only one video they're upset about, and that's the one at Fossway. As you will have seen in yesterday's video, they're furious that I've embarrassed them. And I want to read you this letter verbatim. They say, "Dear Alex," I don't like that for a start. Try Mr. Belfield, have some fucking respect. Decision not to recall is the title. Now, that's a really strange thing because recall is where they send you back to prison. But we know the law's changed now. We know the law has changed and you have to have committed a crime. Well, they came here on Friday and said, I hadn't committed a crime. There is no crime, as much as they want to pretend there is, filming as a journalist in a public space, which I did outside HMP Fossway. What they told me on Friday was I could have started a riot, but a riot didn't happen. So they're still blaming me for things that aren't happening, a bit like the court case where I was sent to prison for somebody who didn't exist and didn't do anything. That's what they said afterwards, that they feared my audience, you might do something that you didn't do. Yet at the same time, Ricky Jones gets off talking about the old throat thing because he's a Labour councillor. I am writing to you because you have breached your licence conditions. Yet on Friday they said I hadn't breached them. So which one is it? But what they don't say is which one. But they allude to a licence condition later on that was removed because it was unlawful after a letter from my barrister. I'll continue. You have breached your licence conditions. Now that means I should be recalled to prison. If you breach your licence conditions, you go back to prison. But we know I haven't because they told me I haven't. In a way that your risk is assessed as increased. No full stop. So whoever written this is an imbecile. It's not even English. You've breached your licence in such a way that your risk is assessed as increased. To what? I mean, I was very high risk when I left prison. You can't go higher than that. I'm terrorism watch, national division, probation. It doesn't get any higher than that. Increased to what? Absolute cack. This breach has been discussed with a probation manager. Oh, I'd love to know who they are. Why don't you name them? And a decision has been made that you will not be recalled to prison. Well, if I breach my licence conditions, I insist I must be recalled to prison because the public wouldn't be safe. But they told me yesterday that my risk of 0.17% hasn't changed, so that's a lie. This is a lie. Already in the first two paragraphs, they're saying I breached something which would get me recalled, but then say they're not going to recall me, therefore I can't have breached. Oh my fucking God, what is going on? This letter explains the decision. If you have any questions, please contact me. I have, and I will read you that tomorrow. I'm going to read you all my text messages. And again, for those who don't understand, I have to do this to publicly document, and I beg of you to subscribe, like, share, comment, to spread this as far and wide to show what tyrannical bullshit people like me are going through who are no risk to the public and have served their time. Your actions at HMP Phosphate. Let's look at the word actions. What do you mean your actions? I stood and talked on public land, which I'm allowed to do as they've already told me. Your actions at HMP Phosphate and the publication of material online place the institution and individuals within that institution at risk. I didn't go anywhere near the fucking institution. And I don't care about the institution. I'm a journalist doing legitimate journalism. I asked them yesterday, did I lie about the officer who killed himself, about the 4 officers arrested for drug dealing, about the prisoner that was nearly killed and was induced into a coma? And they said, no, we're not accusing you of that. So they're not accusing me of lying, and they're not accusing me of breaking the law. So where is the breach? We continue. It had previously been made clear that such actions were not permitted. No, that was dropped. You ignoramus, whoever wrote this. That was dropped. You, when I left prison, made me close down my website because you said I would not be allowed to bring the institution into disrepute, which was illegal. And it was removed as a clause in my license conditions because my barrister wrote to you. It had previously been made clear that such actions were not permitted, and the nature of the material published has caused concerns, as well as referencing matters with custodial environments that are sensitive and not conducive to public protection and the efficacy of HMPPS institutions. I don't care about your efficacy. You can efficacy off. I'm a journalist who has my human rights returned because I am 100% rehabilitated. I am completely reformed, having done no rehabilitation because my stats were too fucking low, because in the eyes of HMPPS, I didn't commit a crime. Your very probation service didn't want me to go to prison. Remember that. Efficacy. What does that mean, Tarquin? So I'm now expected to lie about the corruption and crooked shenanigans that's going on within your institution of HMPPS to cover up for you lot. Well, I don't think so. That's not how journalists work. And you can't ask me to do so. They continue. It has not been deemed necessary to recall on this occasion, and further monitoring of online activity will be undertaken to ensure compliance with your license. But I'm entitled to free speech. I didn't break the law. You said I didn't break a license condition. And I've done 9 weeks of hundreds of videos which you didn't have a problem with. When I'm slagging off anyone else, you don't care other than when it's you. It was made clear during previous appointments that employment actions, what does that mean, could not increase the risk to or bring into disrepute any individual or institution or individuals within them. They speak like fucking marbled mouth Angela Rayner's, don't they? Right, let me tell you about disrepute. That was taken out of my license conditions. I don't care about your repute. You have no repute. Your reputation is lower than a snake's arsehole, because I've seen people murdered in your prisons. I've had 20 probation officers who have all lied, one of which has been sacked. Many of them have been moved and no longer work for HMPPS, and you can't stop me talking about it in my books or indeed on the air. I'm protected under Human Rights Article 10. You can't put a man in prison and then tell him I have to worry about your efficacy or bringing your institution into disrepute. What a load of old shit. How could this land me in prison? Do you understand the seriousness of this? This isn't about me. This is about you and this country. This is what the institution thinks it can get away with. And they're stupid enough to write to me. Who's reading it to you? Further repeated behaviours or breaches could result in further warnings, additional or altered licence conditions, and ultimately recall. A threat. This is bullying and intimidation and a threat to shut the fuck up. That's what they want. I hope our conversation and all this letter has helped to clarify what is required of you going forward. No, it has not. It has absolutely not. And that we can continue to work together to enable you to successfully complete your license period without the need to be recalled. So you're threatening me to shut my gob, my dirty, stinking, rotten gob, and only say nice things about you, or you're going to throw me back in prison. You don't care about the police officers I've named who are pedos. I've talked relentlessly about Hugh Edwards, who's a convicted pedo. You don't give 1 second of consideration for his efficacy. You don't care about anybody else. I'm talking from councils to politicians, yet you're worried about you and your efficacy. Your next appointment, here we go. Your next appointment is on Monday, the 18th of August, 9:15, at the probation office. Oh, we've never been in the probation office before, so this is their vindictive way of inconveniencing me. Good, I can meet lots of people in your probation office, including staff who I'll become friends with, who will whistle blow, like many have from HMP. Fantastic. There's Book 7 stores at Tarquin. Fantastic. This is marvellous. I never thought I was going to get anywhere near the probation office. This is wonderful. Can you see what tyrannical bullshit this government's willing to do with a man of less than 1% risk who's a gobshite, who has not broken the law and has not broken a license condition? That's what they told me, despite in a letter the day before them saying I had. The day before saying that I was high risk, which I was all along. In this, they say I've increased. Which one is it? Get your lies right. I'm going to read you tomorrow the text messages back to this person. You must please contact me immediately if you're not able to keep this appointment. I told them on Friday, why do I need to see you on Monday when you've only seen me on Friday? Should you wish to discuss anything before then, please contact me by the telephone number above. But it's the weekend and they want to see me at 9:15 on Monday morning. Do you see the games these fuckers play? It's all manipulation and games. And by the way, there is no telephone number. I can see there isn't on this document whatsoever. There is no telephone number whatsoever. Contact me by telephone number above. There is no telephone number. Yours sincerely. That's what we're up against. Right, I'm not going to say any more now. I've talked enough. Comment below. If you've been in the system, let me know what you think. More importantly, if you're a lawyer, a human rights lawyer who wants to join the team and be one of my 4 lawyers who are currently fighting the system, let me know privately. Email me via Tarquin at the website alexbelfield.com, because this is outrageous. It is a total violation of my free speech. My job is approved, but they just don't want me to speak about them because they don't want me to bring into disrepute any individual institution or individuals within them. That is totally unsustainable, and this was removed from my license conditions. Corrupt as fuck. Right, I'll be back tomorrow and I'll read you my reply. I have to do this because when they shove me back or kill me, one of the two, I want this to all be public domain. Please share it. Please like. Please comment. Please subscribe. That really helps because we're going down again. Have you noticed? As quickly as people are, they're going back down. I think 344,000 was the highest we ever got to. So we are a bit above that, if nothing else. And at alexbelfield.com, the phone-in will be on tonight, Sunday night, at 9 o'clock, and Wednesday at 9 o'clock. And the news every morning is 40 minutes of me bringing everybody into disrepute. And they've had no problem with it for 9 weeks. Every morning, I bring into disrepute individuals, institutions, and individuals within them. Every single morning, and they don't have a problem. That's my job. I bring people into disrepute. That's how I got into this mess in the first place. And I'm fully entitled to, as a journalist, as Judge Saini said. React to this letter. Tell me what I should do. Tell me what you think. And join us at alexbelfield.com while stocks last. Get the book, if you get the autobiography and book 3, which is the HMP Lincoln and Stocken book. Postage is exactly the same, so you're saving £6. Just to let you know why I say book 3. Book 2 is the court case. I'm not even going to go near publishing that until the day at the end of my license, because these people do not know the law by their own admission. I asked them on Friday, I'm now over 3 months. It's okay, I contact people at HMP, isn't it? And they said, I don't know. I said, how can I play the game when you don't know the rules? They don't know any of the rules. When I was at HMP, read the books. None of the officers know PSI prison law. None of probation know their own rules. And they constantly push people from pillar to post because they're complete and utter imbeciles. Ring me on the number above. There's no number. And you wanted me to ring you at the weekend. And then you put a meeting at 9:15 on Monday morning. This arrives on a Saturday. Dated the 14th, talking about a meeting that happened the day after. Corrupt, you decide. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. alexbelfield.com, news 6 a.m, phone in 9 p.m, and the books are available now. Don't trust the mainstream media. They'll make your teeth itch. Alex Belfield's voice of reason.